Tonight, we are introducing a new segment called The Drive, where we take a deep dive into what drives our local sports figures. Two UNI track and field athletes who have traveled different paths to get to where they are now share a similar motivation, overcoming the hurdles that have come up along the way. UNI's Hunter Manick and Carter Morton are having the best year of their career. During the indoor season, they helped lead UNI to the Missouri Valley Conference team title. Morton took home the MVC title in the triple jump and high jump, along with being named the most outstanding athlete and most outstanding field athlete of the meet. Manick won UNI's first indoor conference title in the men's 60-meter hurdles since 2022.
Definitely this year has been my most successful year if you look at the times and what I've kind of been able to achieve. But I think it's just kind of what I've done the last 3 or 4 years, just kind of building up to this moment.
Manick wasn't recruited at all coming out of high school at North Polk. While he wasn't offered an opportunity to compete on the college level, that didn't mean he couldn't earn one.
I came to practice and was essentially evaluated over the course of, what would that been, like 5 months probably. And then I remember like asking Smith, like probably it would have been probably October. I was still practicing, so I didn't get kicked off the team yet. And I was like, well, am I even on the team? And he goes, I don't know, man. I don't really know yet. But if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll probably make the team.
Manick made the team and improved each year. Even though his success wasn't immediate, that's what's made each accomplishment more meaningful.
You run a time or you win a race and you just kind of reflect back on like little freshman me would have like paid money to be in the place I am now. So it's kind of like, you know, take a step back and see like, my goals my freshman year were way undershot of what I'm achieving now.
Meanwhile, his teammate Carter Morton has also gained a deeper appreciation for his success this year. After a promising season in 2023, an injury caused him to miss the entire 2024 season.
Not being able to do the things that I could do, I think that helped me become better into this year, and I think that's why I made a big jump from last year to this year, especially indoor season, not making nationals and then placing top 8 and becoming a first-team All-American.
His road to recovery wasn't easy, but leaning on his faith and strong support system helped him pick up right where he left off.
It was a lot, but I try to keep my head up and just know that God's got a plan for me. I kind of used my faith, and the closer I was with God, I feel like the better I was mentally, and I think that's what helped me the most, and just being with my family and having my teammates and coaches behind me.
Morton and Manick have overcome several hurdles on and off the track, but with each one they cleared came a valuable lesson in resilience. The Lincoln boys soccer team is having a breakout season, and even though the team's past records may not have reflected it, this success has been brewing for the last few years. When Joe Citanora took over as Lincoln's head soccer coach, there were a lot of growing pains.
This has been a culmination of 3 years of suffering, I guess, right? 3 years of going through a lot of pain, a lot of anguish, and a lot of self-questioning.
All of the losses and frustration helped bring about a culture change and a renewed motivation to turn things around.
Just being committed to the teammates, being committed to the task at hand, and focusing and continuing to learn every time we're on the field, regardless if it's practice or a game. As long as we're getting better, as long as we're improving, then we've won.
Slowly but surely, the progress began to show.
Honestly, coming into the season, we were feeling really down about our past seasons, but coming into it, new players, knowing we were going to come in strong, I feel like we exceeded our expectations a bit.
This season, it all finally clicked. Lincoln has a winning record and is ranked in the top 10 in Class 4A.
We come here every day and we try to get better every single day, you know. But I feel like we still have a lot to prove. And during these last few games of the season, I feel like we are going to prove ourselves.
Right now, we're just trying to go to state and win it, obviously. But we just have to push harder.
For so long, they've been overlooked and underestimated. Now, they're in the midst of something special. And being a team the South Side can take pride in has fueled their motivation.
Growing up, you know, I had older siblings come here, you know, they were part of, you know, winning programs, successful programs, but still fell short, you know. But I mean, now, you know, I can carry on, you know, the legacy and stuff like that. I mean, it feels good. I mean, it feels good to, you know, show the community, show the South Side, you know, that we're capable of, you know, doing something good here.
Regardless of how the rest of the season turns out, this year's group has already set a strong foundation for more successful seasons to come. Former Ames and Kirkwood basketball standout Lucas Luth is getting ready to embark on a new chapter in his basketball career. In tonight's installment of The Drive, the impact the soft-spoken basketball star has made through his actions and his words. Playing college basketball at the Division I level and pursuing a college education were among Lucas Luth's hopes and dreams from a young age.
My younger self could see the vision, but at this magnitude, with this set of circumstances, I don't know, you'd just be surprised.
This past season, he helped lead Kirkwood Community College to an NJCAA national title and was named tournament MVP.
You know, he's not the most vocal person on the court, but he was one of the most hardest playing guys day in and day out in practice and games. And I think that rubs off on players, it rubs off on teammates because they see him, you know, busting his butt. And they think, well, I can do that, I can do more, I have more to give because Lucas is.
Now, Luth is gearing up to join Fran McCaffrey's squad at Penn this season. Making the jump from a JUCO to an Ivy League school is the product of all of Luth's hard work on and off the court. In addition to being a student athlete, Luth held down a job at the cafe on campus and became well known in the community.
It was really neat to see him affect our campus community, which I think is rare. You know, I think it's rare to have an athlete who affects your program the way that Lucas did. It's even rarer to have an athlete who can impact your campus community.
Luth is a firm believer in leading by example. But when he was asked to speak at his commencement ceremony this spring, he realized that his words could be just as powerful.
Students, you may be working the dart with bleeding fingers, tired arms, and a burnt-out mind. You may be sacrificing much with no recognition. But hear me clearly. The day will come when your work will speak for you. And when it does, it'll be monumental.
If there's anything he wants others to take away from his journey, it's this.
Hard work pays off. Be resilient. It's kind of what I said in my graduation speech. When you fall down, get back up again. Yeah, always get back up again. Your failure is what's going to happen. It's a teacher. It's not what is final.
Since becoming Iowa State's starter a couple seasons ago, Rocco Becht has led the program to new heights. His drive to constantly improve has made him a key leader both on the field and in the community. As Iowa State quarterback Rocco Becht enters his third season leading the offense, he's aiming to take his game to the next level.
He's a guy that is relentless in the pursuit to become his best.
After guiding the Cyclones to a record-setting 11 wins, Becht is pushing himself even harder this year.
I think a lot of it off the field was for me mentally, how the game, the mental adversity of things, how to better prepare myself for when that adversity times come.
Mental toughness has been a key trait of Becht's leadership, highlighted by the 5 game-winning drives he led last season.
I think you saw Rocco play great situational football a year ago. Can he continue to evolve and be great in those moments? And the consistency of doing that is hard, especially when the ball's constantly in your hand and you probably got the most opportunities to succeed, and yet sometimes you also have the most opportunities that it could go the other way, and you're depending on all the other 10 guys to do their job for your success to actually occur.
Becht has earned the trust of his coaches, teammates, and fans, but his leadership extends beyond the field. He's actively involved in community service, using his NIL platform to give back to Iowa communities.
I grew up like that. My mom and dad, they gave a lot back when he was in the league. And I think, having my own platform is something that I want to work on. And I think that's the best way, is giving back to the community who's given so much to me since I've been here for the past 3 years. And, I can't thank them enough.
Becht fully embraces his role as both a leader and a role model. And he's always striving for growth.
I think he'd already taken a major step year 1 and 2 as a great leader in our football program, and that's probably one of Rocco's special traits, is he's just got such great humility and leadership ability.
As he continues to evolve, his impact both on and off the field is undeniable. Athletic trainers typically operate behind the scenes and on the sidelines, but when you watch athletes out on the field or on the court, you're also watching the athletic training staff's hard work in action. On tonight's edition of The Drive, I'll introduce you to William Penn's award-winning director of sports medicine, who's helping athletes be at their physical best. Every tape job and every rehab session has a purpose. to help athletes perform at their best.
One of those quotes we use with them all the time is, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
At William Penn, Abu Ibrahim and his athletic training staff work tirelessly to keep athletes healthy and performing.
Our athlete's success is our success. At the end of the day, we're there to support them. Like we say, we're all wearing the same gear. We're all wearing William Penn. We all want to win rings. We all want championships, and we're just an extension of the team.
From early on, Ibrahim learned that trust is essential in athletic training.
Once they get some time where they have to come in and see me, they know that I have their best interest at heart. So I think that, again, once they kind of get that gear shift and that change, or they talk to an upperclassman, or they talk to their coach or something like that, they kind of get to see it that, like, oh no, he actually cares. He actually wants me to get better.
Just as he invests in his athletes, he also invests in his team.
Develop yourself. That's one of the big things he pushes for, is going out and getting new certifications, going and continuing our education. He's huge with that stuff.
This summer, Ibrahim was named the Heart of America Conference Athletic Trainer of the Year, a well-earned recognition. But for him, the greatest reward is seeing athletes make it back to the field.
Those are special moments when you've had someone that, that's had to sit out like a whole season, and then they finally get a chance to come all the way back, and then and even better if they're successful in the sport. I think like that's like the pinnacle, and getting that recognition from them, because they know that it took a lot of steps to get there.
He's a field star, a hooper, but most of all, a grinder on the gridiron. According to 24/7 Sports and Rivals.com, Jevin Severson is one of the nation's best sophomores. But it's a battle both physically and mentally for the four-star to show out as Madrid's top Tiger. Local 5's Trey Redfield has the story.
We're through! There we go. Good. I'm just excited to get out here every day, to work, get better.
There's been tremendous athletes come through here. He's in a different capacity there. That way, boys. Just the size and speed of the kid.
We know what he can do on the court. It's even better on the field. He's the nation's second best tight end in the class of 28.
Being able to get recognized as a small town kid, and especially showing all my talent, but I gotta stay humble, stay hungry every day.
Jevin Severson is showing why.
Go! Get out there, Jevin. There you go. There you go.
Finding the end zone in all 3 games this season. But being nationally recognized at 15 comes with added pressure.
I feel like I have to be perfect all the time, but I really don't.
I always tell them all the time, you take care of business, keep working hard, stay humble, and try and make Madrid the best place ever.
I feel like I have to be perfect throughout routes, blocking, but seriously, there's the next play. Just being able to get to the next play is the biggest thing I can do.
Treating each play like his last, though, is what's helping Severson sharpen the learning curve.
Being able to come back to the next play, it's even better and stronger. That's the best thing you can do.
He gives it his all every play. He knows that it means the world to me, means the world to him, and he gives it everything he has.
We're looking for people that are going to go play, no matter what.
The individual success will continue to grow for Severson no matter the sport he plays. But right now, it's about making sure his football team gets back to the Unidome, where Madrid looks to run Class A in 2025.
Going week by week, taking a W is the biggest thing we could do.
For him, it just comes down to being the best person he can for the Madrid Tigers.
Especially with this senior class, I know they're hungry.
Team over me in year 2 and beyond. It's helping Jevin Severson let those stars to his name shine. I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.
Make your way to Grandview Christian. You'll find a 2A squad that's under the radar, slowly climbing up through the ranks. Meet the Thunder. You'll come across Braden and Colton Hoban. The brotherly duo is separated by 1 year, a duo where Big Bro had to convince Little Bro to come out and play football in his first year. Now, in their final year of sharing the field together, they're checking off faith, family, and football.
Playing together in the field, it's pretty cool. Parents obviously love it. My mom especially.
It's a lot of fun having an older brother showing me the way. He was really good encouragement for me this year.
There's, like I said, that sibling rivalry that just pushes them.
Big Bro is going D1. And Little Bro has got next. Braden and Colton Hoban are thriving in their final year of high school together.
We just encourage each other. We tell each other we can improve on throughout the week, and that helps you perform on Friday.
Well, it really pushes me too to just strive to be just something similar to like that, and I would really hope to play in college too.
Their games have grown to college caliber starting very early.
So they have been playing football together for a long time, 4th and 5th grade, as they started there, and then in middle school and stuff, and so they've been playing together for a long time.
And I love seeing that after one of them is successful in one play, the other one's the first one there to celebrate their success.
They dominate on the court and the gridiron, but faith comes first. Braden and Colton baptized together.
Having a brother this close in age, helps with, your spiritual walk.
Everything in their life is kind of based and centered on their faith in Christ.
On the field, I know that they're going to be helping even the other team up, knock them down, but then you help him back up.
He definitely helps, like if I ask him, how he's doing, or how he asks me how I'm doing, we help each other out.
They've checked off faith in football, but with Braden headed to college soon, family is everything.
Being with him, this will be probably the last time I'll get to play sports with him this year.
Whatever it is at home too, he's just he's just a good leader to us.
You're never gonna get Friday Night Lights with your brother ever again.
We're just so excited to have these incredible young people that are going out into the world and making a path for themselves and following Christ and just being good people.
With one final message from Big Bro.
I'll just say at college, just come get him.
Facts, come get him. Braden is committed to South Dakota State. Time will tell where Colton ends up. Both play on both sides of the ball. You can check the full story on our website at weareiowa.com after this show.
Emily Rodriguez is over 2,000 miles away from home, pursuing her dream of playing college basketball in the United States. And she's been determined to make the Dominican Republic proud every step of the way. Love for the game is what brought Emily Rodriguez from La Romana, Dominican Republic, to Iowa City, Iowa.
I was dreaming of being here, being in this stage.
Love for her people back home is what fuels her out on the court.
I love when kids, they see me on social media and they always tell me that they want to be like me. So that really pushed me to be better on the court.
After a breakout season at UCF, where she was a Big 12 all-freshman team selection, Rodriguez transferred to Iowa. Her teammates have taken a liking to her grit and passion.
Emily has been really great. She's a bulldog. I think she's just so passionate about the game of basketball, and that's very contagious. She's going to do great things here.
While she's been able to live her dream, it's also come with a platform that's allowed her to give back. Rodriguez put on a free basketball camp for kids in her hometown back in August.
That was something that I always wanted to do, so the first time that I had the opportunity to do it, I just went and enjoyed my time at home and did it for the kids, for the community, and it was incredible. All the kids love it, and yeah, it was amazing.
When she puts on the Iowa jersey, Rodriguez knows she's representing more than just the Hawkeyes. She's representing her culture.
I love when I see people supporting me just because I'm Latina and I'm in Iowa, so I really love it, and I'm proud to be here.
Go to Norwalk, you'll meet Luke Brewer. In his third year of high school football, one of the best tight ends in Iowa knows his worth with over 15 Division I offers. So much so, he's heading out the door early.
It's been crazy. We started off with 3 games, not going our way, like we wanted to.
Norwalk football had a rude awakening in Class 5A, but Luke Brewer and company locked in later on.
Took initiative in ourselves, we got to figure something out. We got to find a way to get a win, and we did that, and then we kind of took off. We're on a 5-game win streak. We're keeping it rolling.
Brewer especially with 532 yards and 6 touchdowns at tight end. A great season and great build as well at 6'6", 230. It's why the junior became a senior and reclassed to the class of 26.
As you really get to think of it the development piece of being in a Division I program and what they can do for you, from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, and just the overall play of the game is so beneficial.
We'd love to have him another year, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun to watch him go through this whole process and experience it with him.
They said, if you got in here early and you really developed how we think you would, you could see the field way earlier than your peers before you.
As great as those benefits are of getting to a college program early, leaving early is bittersweet.
I bleed Norwalk football. I love this school. I love this community and everything it has to offer.
But most importantly, with a handful of Division I schools calling, proving it is the right call.
He was ready. He knew he could do it academically. They had a spot for him, and so why not get it done and get moving? And
most of the starters are seniors, but he still knows that he plays an important role, and if you're doing something wrong, you need to be better. He'll call you out on it.
With the folks back home giving the green light, Brewer hopes the next stud considers following in his footsteps.
at the end of the day, both of my parents know I'm mature enough to handle it. You got to weigh out the pros and cons. I think that's what you do for any big decision you make in your life. And that's what I'm going to do to find my place where I'm going to go to school at. Bet on yourself and go for it.
Waukee Northwest football has been on fire this season, sitting at 10-1 heading into the state semifinals, and their running back Ryan Woodruff is hitting his stride at the right time, right before the Unidome. Local 5's Trey Redfield explains how the senior has done his 111th despite some setbacks.
This whole group is still pissed off that we're 4-5 last year. Yeah, and we haven't forgot that. Even though we're 10-1 right now, we just keep that chip on our shoulder the whole year.
3 state titles by Waukee Northwest this season. Ryan Woodruff wants to give the Wolves one more.
We want to get in on the action too. I mean, the girls are out doing their thing, and we want to do our part too.
It's been a lot of things that people don't see, the time in the weight room, on the practice field, and so these guys are hungry. They're excited.
The senior running back is leading the way with 15 touchdowns on the ground following a torn ACL from last year. In week 2 of this year, though, Woodruff thought he was down the same path.
I thought I did the same thing. Thankfully, it was just an MCL sprain. It wasn't too bad.
Just constantly has battled throughout the year, and just tough kid, hard worker.
You blink and then your senior year is halfway gone, so you got to make the most of it.
Even missing 4 games in year 4, Woodruff still made an impact, with Paulo Tabonge filling the void.
He knew I was nervous, so he would talk me to the plays. He would, if I messed something up, I'd go back to the sideline. He'd show me the iPad, he'd show me what I could fix, what I needed to do, and I went back out there and I did it.
And once he came back, Woodruff was unstoppable with 3 touchdowns against Southeast Polk and 5 last week against Sioux City East. The credit given to his team that helped him come back for the most important stretch of the season.
It's not just me. The line did a stellar job, especially in the second half. It was a team win. We all showed up, we faced adversity, and got the job done.
Woodruff's late season return comes at a perfect time with his team making it to the Unidome for the first time in school history. The senior is making sure that this first trip is the best one in his final run of high school football.
With all these guys since 5th grade, all the highs and all the lows, and especially that 4-5 season last year, it just brought us closer together.
And heading into the final stretch as one.
What I love about this team is that we're a team and we're doing this together.
Doing his 111th. It's why Ryan Woodruff has the Wolves making history in 2025. I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.
Dowling Catholic will be playing in the Class 5A state championship game later this week. And along the way, the Maroons got a boost from 2 players with the last name Nahas. Local 5's Trey Redfield has more on Dowling's twin duo and the special moment they shared in last week's semifinals.
We really wanted this, and we're at the point where we can finally achieve our goal. Working to this point, and we're finally here, so it feels great.
Dowling Catholic in week 13. It's as good as the connection of identical twins Joey and Jimmy Nahas.
We started playing tackle football in 4th grade, I think, and then we've been doing it up until now. It's been fun, but every year we just work in the off season to prepare for the upcoming season, and it's really no different this year.
The connection, boasted since birth, but has grown on the gridiron since 4th grade.
He works pretty hard. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, just staying even, and that helps in football and in life.
Joey's QB1, and while Jimmy may not be wide receiver 1, he had his moment on Friday. Scoring a touchdown and helping the offense wake up in a chance at redemption against longtime rival Valley.
To be able to catch that ball in that moment and make that play, it was really special. We obviously have that connection, so if we need a big play in a big spot, I know I can always look to him and have confidence in that we'll get the play done.
Joey decided to throw it to Jimmy for a touchdown, and great throw, remarkable catch, huge part in the game.
When he threw that ball up in the end zone to Jimbo, he came down with it. That sent the offense up and sent the defense up, and we started playing at a higher level.
It ultimately led to a 14-10 win. And one more game as Dowling's twin killing.
I feel like we don't got to say much. I mean, the whole team knows what we're playing for, state championship, so everyone's going to come locked in. Everyone's going to come practicing hard. Just get the job done well.
I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.
And Joey's pass to Jimmy was Jimmy's 2nd touchdown of the season. Definitely one to remember. Dowling will face Iowa City Liberty on Friday night at 7 p.m.
Iowa football has won 8 games once again. And in the final third of the season, an unknown face in DJ Vanami has been a big reason why.
I was just looking to get on the field and just do whatever I could to help the team win.
Early in the season, question marks came at tight end for Iowa football.
And then Addison Ostrenga, unfortunately, is out for the season.
But in the final stretch of the year, Kemper Catholic alum DJ Vanami answered them.
It means the world. It means the world that the coaching staff and the team just trust me in that spot and just go out and let me execute.
Moving from quarterback to tight end, along with redshirting as a preferred walk-on in year one, and coming in clutch like this game against Oregon. Wasn't as easy as you think.
And he was, not even in the top 3 tight ends to start off fall camp this year, and maybe not even for that first game. But he's just continued to work every single day.
So we always talk about the next man mentality. Just every single time. And Addie, unfortunately, got hurt at the start of the year, so just always being ready for the opportunity and just going out and execute.
And executing, Vanami has. Wrapping up the regular season with the team lead in receiving yards.
It all centers around his attitude. He's a really good athlete. He's got a great attitude, and he really loves playing.
After just knowing what I'm supposed to do, just trusting what the coaches have out for us.
And it's what you do with your opportunities as a player, and he's doing a great job there.
And helping out his childhood team in the biggest moments.
Oh, I grew up a huge Iowa fan. You should see my basement just completely decked out in Iowa stuff. But yeah, no, it definitely is sweet to beat Nebraska now.
Vanami and the Hawks finished the season at 8-4, one of 4 teams since 2015 to have 8 wins in every full season of college football.
Iowa State's Rachel Van Gorp was recently named Big 12 Libero of the Year, marking one of 11 Cyclones to earn the honor. Now, for some extra context, no other team in the conference has more than 4, further reinforcing Iowa State's reputation as Libero U. Iowa State is one of the best defensive teams in the Big 12. They lead the conference in digs and are anchored by the Big 12 Libero of the Year, Rachel Van Gorp.
Just a very aggressive mentality. Like, I don't want the ball to hit the floor, so just sitting back there ready to get anything up I can.
Van Gorp has posted double-digit digs in every match this season, including 10 where she had 20 or more.
You know, Rachel's earned every bit of recognition she's getting. She's so talented and such a great teammate, hard worker. So super proud of her and just proud to kind of keep that legacy going.
The legacy of being Libero U has been a staple of Christy Johnson Lynch's tenure at Iowa State, and something she takes great pride in.
I think all the best programs have something they are really exceptional at. It's hard to be great at everything, but if you can have a few great parts to your program year after year, you kind of make that your brand and you ride that.
Van Gorp was ISU's first Libero of the Year since 2021 and the 3rd true sophomore to win the award. While it may be an individual honor, Van Gorp is quick to credit her teammates and her coaches.
It's exciting, and I'm just so thankful. Like, I couldn't do it without my teammates pushing me every single day to get better, and my coaches just putting in so much work into me.
Grandview football is 3 games away from another NAIA national title, with the Vikings being led by one of the most complete players on and off the field. Local 5's Trey Redfield has the story.
In his final year of college football, Jackson Waring is reaping the Viking benefits.
As part of the Grandview program, it's been this way since 2008. It's just something that we demand of ourselves.
From a Tuesday through Saturday standpoint, that's the kind of consistency that he brings.
The Des Moines Christian alum is the defending NAIA national champion, but also the NAIA National Player of the Year. And this year, collecting 36 total touchdowns. It all first started at Illinois State.
What a throw and what a catch.
Getting starting reps in year 2 to getting none at all in year 3.
Earning this and then having it not there. Fair, unfair, this, that, whatever. But it was incredible to watch him work through that.
But when one door closed, another opened. That door was at Grandview.
It's been steady, but it's also been a lot of ups and downs.
I took one look at him. I said, "Hey, who's the new defensive end for us?"
I was kind of, finding my place amongst the men here and developing relationships.
Stuff that he does, not even just in the game of football, is really incredible.
Home is where Waring found his faith. Baptized in 2022, leading team Bible studies a couple years later. It's helped Waring guide the Vikings to a 36-1 career record, leading through to 3 Fs.
Faith, have great faith, fight, be courageous, and finish together, and it will be done. There's a lot of great men on this team, and we all love each other. And not only do I get to lead them, but they lead me too.
The kid's focused. I can't take credit for that. That's a real head scratcher for me.
It's been awesome just to see it all come to fruition.
With the Vikings, I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.
The Ankeny native is one of 16 finalists for the William V. Campbell Trophy, college football's premier scholar-athlete award. Growing up in Nigeria, Esther Kolawole never imagined that wrestling would allow her to travel the world and chase her dreams. And since then, she's wrestled in the Olympics, won a collegiate national title, and is one of Africa's most decorated wrestlers. On this edition of The Drive, the support of those back home and the pursuit of a better life put her on a path to becoming one of the best wrestlers in the world.
And for William Penn, sophomore from Nigeria, Esther Kolawole.
If you go to watch Esther Kolawole wrestle, you better not be late because these matches don't last long.
I'm known to be to wrestle aggressively, to be strong, and I'm not ready to tone it down for anyone.
Kolawole has been dominant in her sophomore season, picking up where she left off as a freshman. A flawless 23-0 campaign that resulted in an NAIA national title. Her coach, Jake Cadell, is fully aware of how rare a talent Kolawole is.
She trains extremely hard. It's always about getting extra workouts in for her, and she wants to obviously be the best in the world. So that's a lot of pressure, I feel like, on us as coaches we got to make sure we accomplish that for her.
When she's out on the mat, Kolawole is fighting for more than just a win.
Most of the times I think of how far I've come, I think of the sacrifice, I think of my teammates. They work together. When you wrestle out there, I don't wrestle for myself alone. I look at my teammate work so hard. They trained with me to be able to compete in this tournament. My coach is invested so much in me, training with me morning, afternoon, night, bringing in people to come wrestle with me. When I think about these people and I know they're gonna be cheering me on, at home, even though they're not there with me.
That support from her friends and family back home is what gave Kolawole the confidence to pursue wrestling and see how far it could take her.
While I was growing up, my family, we were not so rich like that, so it was kind of hard to feed, to survive, and I think wrestling made it more easier for me to be able to take care of my parents. I want to see them enjoy life. I want to see them live a better life. And I also want to live a better life.
Going from doubted to undeniable took hard work, discipline, and sacrifice.
All the sacrifices I've made so far, I do not regret them. And I'm actually ready and prepared to even make more sacrifices to be better and achieve my goals in wrestling.
For Kolawole, greatness is, and always has been, worth fighting for.
Do not let anyone tell you this is too hard or you cannot achieve something. The same way I grew up in an environment where wrestling is dominated by men and people tell me you can do it, but I didn't listen to them. And today they are also proud of me, celebrating me.
On Wednesday, Iowa senior safety Xavier Nwankpa will finish his stellar career as a Hawkeye in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Sports director Rainer Garcia has more on Nwankpa's journey from a standout at Southeast Polk to being a defensive star at Iowa.
Coming out of high school, there were high expectations for Xavier Nwankpa. The Southeast Polk standout was a 5-star recruit and the highest rated recruit of the Kirk Ferentz era.
All the different things that even high school kids have to deal with, especially somebody, at his level, with the social media and all that stuff, starting back in high school has been something he's handled immensely. He obviously was an unbelievable player for us, a great human being, a captain, and was on our first state championship team, kind of got this thing. Got our program, to where it's at today. So, his development over the course of the last 7 to 8 years is awesome. He's had a tremendous college career.
Nwankpa knew there would be pressure to deliver, but he took it all in stride.
I've tried to handle it the best I could. Obviously, you have expectations coming in, but you want to live up to those and exceed those. And I've tried to do that throughout my time here. Ultimately, there's been parts and places I have and parts and places I haven't. So just trying to live every day, trying to get better every day, and ultimately put the best product on the field I can.
He played in 12 games as a freshman, and it wasn't until the last game of the season where he got his first start and his first career interception. He's been a starter and important piece of the Hawkeye defense ever since. But it didn't come without some growing pains along the way.
Xavier went through that like most guys do. There's give and take and all that thing, but he's got a great attitude, works hard, And you hope when you're a senior, a junior, senior, you're playing your best football. And I think that's what we've seen with him, playing last year and then playing this year. He's clearly playing at his highest level in his career.
In his final season, Wampa logged a career-high 69 tackles. 47 of those were solo tackles, also a huge jump from the previous seasons. As he nears the end of his college career, his coaches believe there's still more football in front of him.
I think he's got a chance to have a really good pro career. He'll have opportunities to do that, and I'm excited to watch the next journey and watch him flourish. Hopefully, getting a shot in the National Football League.
But in the meantime, Wampa is focused on making the most of his final game as a Hawkeye.
It's kind of surreal. It's been a short time and a long time at the same time. I've gone through a lot, but ultimately just blessed in the position I've been in.
Reporting from Tampa, Reina Garcia, Local 5 Sports.
Over the last 2 seasons, Iowa senior and Urbandale native Max Llewellyn has turned into an impactful playmaker for the Hawkeye defense. Local 5's Reina Garcia explains why those close to him are even more impressed by his transformation off the field.
In the fourth quarter of a tie game against Nebraska back in 2024, the Iowa defense needed someone to make a play. That someone was Max Llewellyn. The forced fumble and recovery helped propel Iowa to a win. That breakout moment was a culmination of years of hard work and determination.
When Max was little, he was a terrible athlete. He was awful. I coached him here as a freshman, and we didn't even start him. We didn't play him. I was like, and he was like, Dad, I'm like, Max, you're just not good enough, bud. So to see where he came as a freshman, he went hard. He went as hard as he could. He was just too little, too skinny. And he just took that, and he took that motivation and just went nuts. I think that's the biggest chip for Max. You doubt him, and he's going to prove you wrong.
Max's senior season has been his best one yet, with 6 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, and 2 forced fumbles. His coaches at Iowa have been impressed with his growth as a player.
I think he's a hard worker, great team player, and just like the way he hustles. You go watch some of these guys go practice every day, and you sit there, as a D lineman, you're going out there and you're hitting somebody every play.
After establishing his role on the defense, Max wanted to push himself even more by pouring into his teammates.
I just want to be the best teammate I can. I think, once you've established a good base of fundamentals and, you know how to play football, the next thing is, spreading that to the younger guys and, just really being the best teammate I can be.
Max's transformation has extended beyond the football field. A kind gesture before the season began perfectly encapsulated the man he was becoming. His stepmom, Casey, passed away from ovarian cancer last year. As a way to honor her, Max raised $10,000 for ovarian cancer research.
And that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, he may not have been as interested in this when he was younger, but he's starting to mature and understand, like, it's not about him. It's bigger than him. It's bigger than all of us sometimes. And I appreciate that he's starting to realize that. And he's a great kid. I'm very proud of him.
Max came to Iowa with the goal of becoming the best football player he could be. And he's leaving as so much more.
They talk about, Iowa does a good job of not only building you as a football player, but as a man. And I think, that's my biggest thing is I want to be the best man I can be when I'm done playing here.
Reporting from Tampa, Reina Garcia, Local 5 Sports.
If you love basketball, you may know the name Shane Hennon. Basketball has been the Minnesota native's passion for years, but to begin 2026, he's training the best right here in town and growing a platform that's gone beyond the U.S.
3. One more. Since 4th grade, ball has been live for Shane Hennon, even after his playing days wrapped up at Morningside.
Dude, it's fire. Just having a family member like my dad and my uncles that were coaches kind of affected that and made me kind of want to get into it as well.
Coaching and training at camps has followed not just here in Des Moines,
Got to get past the three-point line and then find a way to get back out.
but also around the nation.
After you meet some of these kids and you meet their families and you see kids start to improve, get any more dribbles, just cross, step, and we'll pull. It's a little bit of an addicting thing. You start to see progress.
Along with that, though,
Hey, Johnson, Johnson, you got to move the ball, man. I told you 10 times now.
Hennon's a part of your doom scroll, known on social media as Hennon Workouts.
Hey, y'all mind if my little brother hops in with us?
What? No. Your little brother? No. Dad. Yeah. What's up, buddy? I made the team. Let's go. That's awesome, buddy. Hey, I knew you'd make it.
Boasting 1.2 million followers on TikTok and over 750,000 on Instagram.
If I give helpful tips, if I give shout outs, I'm starting to get new people in the gym. I'm starting to get invited to do camps.
They find my last name's Hennon, and they're like, you know Shane Hennon? And I'm like, yes, I do. That's my son. They look at me. Are you kidding me? That's how much these young kids in basketball, it just spreads.
Hennon's impact has spread beyond country lines.
Bring a middle. Good.
Starting with the Stars of Tomorrow in Central Iowa.
All the people that look up to him and just being able to know, like, I can work with this guy and he's making me better. It's a really cool relationship that we have.
Training and content creation has become a business.
Hey, fellas, come on now. We got to play a lot harder than that. Let's go.
But hailing from small town Minnesota,
You gotta move the ball, man. I told you 10 times.
Good.
makes his impact on social media shine
Flip your feet, drop through, going to the right.
even brighter.
I literally grew up in a town of like 300 people. Nice, good feet. So when they point at me thinking like I'm some dude, it's motivating because I know they're watching. I'm waiting on that. When's that gonna happen in a game? And I know one of the posts affected them in some sort of way. That to me is really cool. The comments, the DMs, the emails from parents is all great too. So.
Nice.
Two.
You can follow Shane on socials at Hennon_workouts for camps and drills. Check out his camp page at Hennon_workout_camps on Instagram.
With the world's toughest rodeo in town this weekend, Nick Jordan gets to do the sport he's loved since he was a kid, right at home. Local 5's Trey Redfield introduces us to one of the best bareback riders in Central Iowa.
It's not often this is a hobby, but rodeo has been Nick Jordan's MO for years.
I've came to these World's Toughest with my grandpa when I was just younger, so it's always cool to look back and see, you know, well, I'm one of those guys riding now.
And this weekend, the 6-year pro doesn't have to go far for it. The Iowa Central Products was bareback riding tonight at the World's Toughest Rodeo.
I'm excited. I got a good horse, and I'm just pretty stoked to be back here. So I entered last year and I didn't get in, which was a bummer. I was kind of like, man, but this year when I saw I got in, I was like, yes, let's go.
It's been 6 years since Jordan has made it to the World's Toughest Rodeo, but getting to compete on this stage alongside 3 fellow Iowans right here in the capital city makes this moment in 2026 even sweeter for the Oskaloosa native.
When you think of Iowa, you think of corn and beans and pork, and you don't really think of rodeo. So it's cool to see guys that are local in the state and getting up on the professional stage and
riding at home with the hopes that young bucks follow suit.
You know, hopefully there's some little kid up in the stands that thinks, man, I want to do that someday. That's so cool. And then I hope he follows his dreams because it can take you places.
With Oskaloosa's bareback rider, I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.
During the fall, Finn Martin is a force out on the field for the Newton football team, and if you think he's good there, you should check him out in the pool. The senior is a 3-time state champ in swimming. In this edition of The Drive, I took a deep dive into how football has added to his winning mentality as a swimmer.
You know, when you get on the blocks for a race, it's just you, your mind, and your training.
For Newton senior Finn Martin, things are just that simple in the pool. Nobody to blame, nobody there to help either.
You know, during the reps in swimming, you don't get to talk to anyone. You're just thinking, you know, sometimes like I even sing in my head. So that's just me in my head. Like I even talk to myself sometimes, but it's definitely harder. Definitely, you know, during those hard sets when your muscles are starting to break down, you just have to keep telling yourself to keep going.
The sport requires mental fortitude, which is one of Martin's biggest strengths. That's why he's a 3-time state champ.
When he puts his mind to something, he's going to be the best at it, and he doesn't really settle for anything less. You know, 6 a.m. practices every day. Lots of guys get too tired for that, but he's the kind of guy that he's here every single day at 5:50, 5:45, waiting to get into the pool. So he's the kind of like the mental game, the mental aspect is never an issue for Finn.
Excelling in an individual sport can be a lot of pressure. That's why Martin tries to incorporate things from the other sport he excels in, football. Newton head coach Andy Swedenjelm was impressed by how the first-team All-State receiver has been able to intertwine his approaches to both sports.
As an individual, you have all control over what you do, right? And it's you and the clock and all that kind of stuff. And so
But football, you don't control everything, right? And so he doesn't control the targets he gets. He doesn't control any of that kind of stuff. And so sometimes it can be, mentally tougher that way. And then you might feel like you're not impacting the game and that kind of stuff. And so you really learn how to do the things that don't really get recognition and the dirty work and that kind of stuff. And did a really great job with that. And I think sometimes the beautiful thing about team sports is you learn how to find joy within other people.
Embracing his team helps Martin alleviate the pressure and nerves of swimming and keeps the sport fun.
I kind of bring, the mental side of football with swimming. Whenever I get the chance to talk to my teammates, I always make sure I do, because you feed off your teammates in games, like in practices and at meets. I'm feeding off their energy too and off my coach.
As Martin gets ready to defend his state titles next month, his teammates and coach will be right there cheering him on. And Finn plans to continue his swimming career at Notre Dame, and he told me he's excited to see what he can accomplish at the collegiate level. High schoolers every year make decisions on what to do after they finish high school. Well, for Waukee wrestling and football star Andrew Hine, his decision came down to something greater than playing a sport. Local 5's Trey Redfield has the story.
Give me 2 claps for Ric Flair.
Really enjoyed being a part of his senior year and getting to watch it for front row.
He wants it, he's tough, he's gritty. I can go on and on.
He's a top 5 heavyweight wrestler in the state and a star offensive tackle. Andrew Hine has checked off all the boxes.
These coaches, I wouldn't be as good as I am without them. Plenty of adversity helped me improve, kind of get to the point I am.
The past 3.5 years, Hine has shown plenty of grit, both behind me on the mats and on the football field here at Waukee High School. But come a few months from now, duty, honor, and country will come first, as Hine is off to play football at the United States Military Academy.
The great people, the great men and women that went through the academy. And, I fell in love instantly.
He's always been interested in the military, and when he started excelling at sports, we didn't think that was going to be a possibility.
But once December came, the youngest of 4, off to West Point, became a reality.
This year we were watching the Army-Navy game at home, and they did the preview, and they say we knew it when they were young. You don't have to do this.
We knew early on.
Yeah, and I, even when they were young. My husband and I just looked at each other. We just lost it because we did. We knew it when he was young.
I'm not only representing myself, but I'm representing my town and my state. That's something to definitely be proud of, and I'm excited for.
Something greater is on deck for Hine.
Here we go, 1, 2.
A commitment to the long gray line.
He wants to make his nation proud, and there's no better person that I can think of.
He's really accountable. He's respectful. He has a great family. He's got a good support system. He just does everything right.
They've helped him to be the person he is, and I just think that he's the best guy for the job.
With the future cadet, I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.
And Hine's journey as a cadet will begin in July.
ADM boys basketball is one of the top 5 teams in Class 3A, continuing its success from football season and led by the program's new all-time scoring leader in Hudson Lawrenson. Local 5's Raina Garcia has more on the seniors' historic accomplishment.
And the ball's turned over, Bright up ahead to Lorenzen. Lorenzen up, and Lorenzen is good.
With that shot, ADM's Hudson Lawrenson wrote his name into the record books.
I knew I needed 39 points going into the day, and I didn't expect to get it on that day, but kind of just got it going.
The senior finished with exactly 39 points in Monday's win over Sergeant Bluff Luton, becoming the program's all-time leading scorer. It's a moment he envisioned years ago and worked tirelessly to achieve.
I wrote a goal sheet before my freshman year, and the #1 personal goal on that was to be the all-time leading scorer at ADM. So it's just a byproduct of all the work that I've put in over the years. I'm a coach's kid. I've been in the gym ever since I was a little kid. I would say work is just the most important thing.
That work ethic hasn't gone unnoticed by his head coach, Trevor Mickelson.
From the moment that I started coaching him, he is always in the gym, always looking at ways to improve. He spends a ton of time on his game, on his own, with his dad, with his teammates and so forth. And so it's been cool to see his progression and how he's developed as a player.
Even when it came time to celebrate a historic night,
My family took me to Texas Roadhouse.
basketball was still top of mind.
We had a game the next day, so I think I just had a burger. I would have had a steak, but probably not great for pregame meal, so.
In Adel, Raina Garcia, Local 5 Sports.
Hudson Lawrenson isn't the only ADM player to make history this season. Trey Bright broke the program's all-time assists record earlier this month, so it's only fitting that Bright was the one to assist Lawrenson on his record-breaking basket earlier this week. The two seniors are also close friends, and now both have cemented their legacies as two of the program's best.
We knew it was going to be tall tasks and just growing up watching older guys play, but honestly it's just been fun sharing the moments and all the games throughout, not just breaking the records. It means a lot just sharing the friendship on and off the court. It's just fun to play together and know that we kind of have that chemistry on and off the court.
Bright also leads Class 3A in assists this season with 107, ranked second across the entire state. Sports have brought Grant Huckvale, best known as Hogdale, a passion, but also a career. The past 2 years, he has streamed Red Sox and Patriots games. It's helped the Nevada native go from the basement to Barstool.
I've lived like the top 1% of life in terms of sports fan.
Meeting a Red Sox and Patriots fan in Nevada is uncommon, but not impossible.
Pretty simple. I feel like it's how most of us get our sports fandoms. It's genetically through my dad.
Grant Huckvale's love for sports came with a love for talking about it.
2 years ago now is when I started streaming, which is what's led up to all this, which is where I really found my niche.
Huckvale's niche is down those steps into this chair in his basement. Here, he's Hogdale.
Roman Anthony sends you into the stands!
What was that like when he said, hey, I want to get into this?
I said, go for it. He said, Mom, I've saved up for a whole year. I think I'm going to take a year off, and then I'm going to do nothing but call the Red Sox game. I said, you do it. You follow your dreams.
Absolutely.
With dreams came haters from time to time.
The fans are tough. They're brutal.
But Hogdale,
I like the Ranger Suarez signing.
Stayed the course.
One thing about Hogdale, he doesn't let anything get him down.
Every single day, every single week, you put your content out, you get a little better, and then eventually people start to notice your consistency.
It showed.
2-2 pitch from Chapman.
On a September 9th.
Swung on, he missed! He gets out of it, and the Sox win game 1!
That call helped Hogdale go national.
That night is the night that Dave Portnoy and Barstool discovered me.
So when he did get that call, it was like, he deserves it. He deserves it.
I make career money to talk about baseball and football. It's absurd. Like, my life is so comically amazing at the moment. It makes me so happy.
Nevada's loudest is now the face of Barstool Sports.
1 man to beat, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Patriots!
He has put his whole heart and soul into this, and to see him succeed and get what he deserves, it was just amazing. Absolutely the best feeling a mother could ever have.
His biggest fan.
You can't make me feel bad about this game against the Broncos coming forward.
Is now seeing Hogdale pave the way.
Chase your dreams. It's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. It's a lot easier for some people than others, but do it. Chase the things that make you fulfilled.
Hogdale has set up shop in Chicago for tomorrow's Barstool Sports stream. The Patriots and Broncos kick off at 2 with the winner off to Super Bowl 60.
With 12 points and 7 rebounds per game, Rocco Zikarsky is making an impact on the court with the Iowa Wolves, but his impact off the court spans thousands of miles away. Local 5's Trey Redfield has the story.
They're feisty, they're aggressive, they play hard. It makes it easy to come into work.
You have to be prepared for the unexpected and just kind of have patience.
The NBA G League is no slouch. Even on a two-way deal, the mindset stays the same for Rocco Zikarsky.
Everyone's down here to hoop, so I think he's got to keep that mindset that, everyone's here for one reason.
I mean, he's a sponge, like knowledge-wise. He grasps everything that you tell him. I mean, he steps ahead of where everybody thought.
Physically, he stands out as well, standing 7'3", but that's also the case geographically, hailing from Brisbane, Australia, and putting the land down under first.
I want to represent the Sunshine Coast, and I want to represent Brisbane, and if that means going out every day and playing my hardest, then that's what it is.
Zikarsky was 16 when he went pro.
Wardenberg drives, met upstairs by Zikarsky.
Signing with his hometown Brisbane Bullets.
No, sir.
Since then, the popularity has been through the roof, signing 44 on almost everything.
For me to be able to be that for someone else and see these kids that are willing to send their cards overseas, that are willing to send jerseys, that want photos from me, and it's really fun for me to give back and be the guy that younger me wanted to hear from.
And at home, striving to make a family proud at just 19 years old.
My mum has sacrificed so much to be able to be in this position, and the rest of my family, my dad, my grandma, they've all sacrificed so much for me to be here. The family's done so much that you sort of got to keep going.
That he has. On the other side of the world.
It's an adjustment, but I'm proud of them and I hope they're proud of me.
The dream to represent the Timberwolves in the near future. I'm Trey Redfield. Local 5 Sports.
The high school girls state wrestling tournament got underway in Coralville today. Local 5 Sports Director Reina Garcia has more on what's made this tournament extra special for 2 Urbandale natives.
Here at the Girls State Wrestling Tournament, ultimate goals will be achieved and memories will be made. But I'm not just talking about for the wrestlers. That's also the case for a father-son officiating duo that's fulfilling a long-time dream by making it here together. Dale and Jared Atchison have a combined 63 years of officiating experience. Dale with 46 and Jared with 17. For the first time in their careers, they're officiating a state wrestling tournament side by side.
This certainly is one of the greatest moments, I think, of our officiating career. It's something we've dreamed of, working together at the state tournament, and so this probably is the pinnacle, I would say.
The two have always been close, with wrestling weaving its way through their relationship since Jared was young.
It started before officiating. I can remember being at the state tournament, and a picture with Jared being 2 years old, crawling around on my back.
Watching his dad officiate from an early age inspired Jared to follow in his footsteps.
We do a lot of meets together and a lot of car time, and so we ride together, and I would ask questions and he would critique how I'm doing and mistakes that I made, things that I did well. But I've watched hours and hours of my dad officiate, and he's in the Hall of Fame, and so I wanted to learn from one of the best.
Dale was more than happy to pass along his knowledge, and still does.
And it's true, whether it's watching your son take his first steps or whatever. Definitely there's times you go, don't do that. You want to encourage him. And even today, I still have those moments. And there's those moments that he's saying to me, I don't think I was right, Dad.
With every meet they officiate together, the memories continue to grow.
It's just been another connection that we've had that's been special.
It's pretty special to get to be best friends with your dad and get to share something else together.
Dale and Jared said that being a part of such a memorable experience for these athletes who have worked so hard to get here makes it even more rewarding. Reporting from Coralville, Reina Garcia, Local 5 Sports. Basketball has always been a big part of Waukee Jr. Sam Rice's life, and in this edition of The Drive, Local 5's Trey Redfield explains how it's also become an escape.
Waukee's just such a great school. Coach Danny and the whole coaching staff has been super supportive.
For Waukee Junior shooting guard Sam Rice, ball is life. Her 4 older siblings all played, the youngest following suit.
It's really fun coming from a basketball family because we can all just go shoot together and they just all motivate me.
It's her first year at Key with goals of playing in college with her older sister.
I really want to play at Rockhurst with Kayla. She just talks about how it's so fun being a part of that team.
The Rice family is a team in itself. Sam's father, Tom, her biggest supporter, all while battling gallbladder cancer.
Now, I thought that I wouldn't be able to play basketball this year.
A battle that lasted 7 months. On Friday morning, Tom passed away.
Without my parents there, it's been really hard, but it's just been a really big struggle for me for the most part.
Leaving his youngest with one final message.
My dad said one of the last things before he died is that he just wants me to keep on going with life, and he wants me to do what makes me happy and not look back.
For Sam, it's basketball, and it was exactly that on Friday night.
And when she told me she was playing, I'm like, okay, girl, you do you. If that's what you need to do, we're here for that.
I knew that playing in that game would just mean a lot to him, and I knew that he would be super proud of me.
Both teams wearing green bows in honor of Sam's father, a green bow that sets a standard for Sam.
It's really just showed me the type of person that he is and the type of person I want to be on the court and outside of the court as well.
His work ethic and knowing that that's what he would have wanted shows a lot of her and her own work ethic and how incredible she's going to be in everything that she does.
Hey guys, love you all. Let's get big. Don't you let up. Don't you let up, okay? And make your dreams come true.
And through it all, Sam has grown through hoops, family, and faith.
I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was. I feel like I've just learned so much throughout, and having such a great supportive family around me and lean to God even when times have been hard. We've all just gathered around together. I'm just really grateful I got to see my dad the last few days before he passed.
With Waukees' strongest warrior, I'm Trey Redfield, Local 5 Sports.